measurements, I requested our sister called Ima to help us with the plus size figure, and thankfully to God she agreed. So we have our second figure here. You can see that there's a big difference from the first figure and the second figure. So again, you need to learn how to take measurements, because not everybody that is going to walk through your shop is going to be slim. And you need to know how to take measurements for a plus size. So we are going to use the same application for the first figure. We need to find out the true waist of our figure. So we'll let her raise her hand a little bit. And so again, remember that our true waist is the smallest part of the upper body. So to find out where our true waist is, we are going to tie the rope. So you can see that this is where our true waist is, the smallest part of her upper body. So again, true waist measurement is used for sewing a high waist skirt for your clients. If your client doesn't have or doesn't need a high waist skirt, there is no need in taking this measurement. You can just go straight to the abdominal waist, which is where the nephron is. So we'll take the true waist measurements. Again, I am putting 2 fingers into the tape and I'm holding it firmly. If you are sewing a waist skirt or a skirt for a plus size figure and you don't take care, because you're always worried it's going to be a bit too tight, you end up having it very loose. So you need to make sure your hand holding the tape is very firm. And so my hand is very firm right here, and you can see how tight the tape is around her waist. Don't worry about how tight it is, because I already have 2 fingers in it, so it's going to come back to her normal waist measurement. So you see that her waist measurement is 34 inches right there. And again, we explained that our abdominal waist is from the true waist to the nephron, where the nephron is located on the body. And for our model, we can see the nephron is on the lower side. So it means for her, we would have it about 3 inches downwards, or even more than 3 inches. So more like 4.5. But you can see she's already wearing a skirt. So you can see that the skirt is already positioned where a nephron is. So we'll take that measurement. Which is 38. I'll let her turn around so you can see her back and see how it is holding the back measurements. Alright. Then we move on to the hip. In measuring plus size figure, hips is very, very important, because naturally we are heavily endowed at that area. So, and every plus size figure with experience, I realize that you might think the person has a lot of hips, but the front, as you can see, my front is almost like an H shape. You don't see the hip protruding at the sides. But when I turn to the side, you see all the fat coming out. So if you don't take care, you think that this person is hippie, but it's not. Okay, so in taking measurement for hips, you have to be very, very careful. So let's her turn. She has something in her pocket. Oh. See, I'm letting it take it out because it might add to the measurements. So with her measurement, her hip with my 2 fingers in it is 47 and a half. Just as we did for the first figure, we must be able to move the hip up and down because the person is going to wear the skirts and is also going to remove the skirts. And so if you don't move the tape up and down, it means that you, the person sewing the dress, will not be sure if your client can easily remove or easily wear the dress. So we are going to try and hold it down. So down comes easy, and then we try and wear it up. Up also comes easy and eased. I'm still holding on to the measurement, 47 and a half. So for a plus size, I'll suggest you move at least twice. And after moving, it has opened about half an inch. So that is her true hip measurement. So in taking the length for your customer or your client, we use the same approach as the first client. You need to ask your customer how long is the skirt supposed to be. So ask Uma how long.
Okay, above
Above the knee, below the knee. All right. So below the knee means that we are going to start from the natural waist to below the knee. So below the knee, this is where my knee is, in the middle of the knee. Below the knee means right before the curve of your knee starts, your kneecap, right before, right below the curve of it. So please look up and try and feel with the hand. So this is where the below the knee is. And we have it as 29 inch. Uma is tall, so 29 inch. And the length of it to the floor is 47. So this is the difference in taking skirts for a plus size figure and a smaller size figure.